Hey guys, how you doing? This is Michael from I'm Just a Poor Boy. Welcome again to my acrylic pouring channel. I just got started last month with my channel. I'm excited with how it's doing. Just growing my views and my subscribers. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button at least. And if you like what you see, give it a like, notifications, all that good stuff. You know the drill. And I was looking around on YouTube to be inspired, and I came across my gal from Pouring My Heart Out. She's been doing this for quite some time now. She is hysterical, and we have some things in common. First thing I love is she's, hi guys. She's Australian. She's got this cute little accent. She's got this great attitude that I've learned a lot from. You know, sometimes things go wrong. She, oh gosh, I forgot to put in the silicone. I was gabbing away to you guys, and well. Just this very well attitude. And oftentimes you'll see a video and then she'll do another one where she's like, I'm gonna try this one again. So I just love that. It's like, devil may care. It's great. So I was looking on her channel and I went, here is a great one. So tonight I'm working on a 40 by 40 canvas. We'll deal with that in a minute. I've already taped it and pinned it, and I sprayed the back so it's nice and taut. Let's talk about the colors we're using tonight. So first of all, we're going to be using black. As you guys know, I use almost exclusively Amsterdam acrylics. I made plenty of black tonight. I hope it's not too thick, but I can always add some water, and if I got some air bubbles, I can always pop them. I like this black just because the color is great, and it is also as a base great because it is completely opaque. Next, we are going to use 4 colors in the pour. The first one is this lovely red color. It's a carmine red. Here is now a color that is not from Amsterdam. When I looked at the bottle, I thought maybe I'll lighten this up a bit, but I just love how bold it is. This I get from a large hardware store in Holland, Lucas Krill Studio. Next one, I made this custom maroon burgundy color. I went for that same carmine red, and I also added a little bit of, I did this last week for the custom, this permanent red violet, but so that it wouldn't get too moody, instead of going for black, I used from Artist Acrylic this dioxine violet purple, and it just turned out beautifully. I used a silver as well, and I think looking at these colors, they're going to look really nice together. I'm going to put these off to the side for a moment, get my black here, move the silver I don't need, and get my cup ready. So I'm going to use a plastic cup tonight so you can see through it. We're going to do a dirty cup. Now, for the people who are just getting into acrylic pouring, and some of them are friends of mine who have never seen this before and only know my channel, I've been teaching them differences between certain things. So far I've been kind of stacking my colors in a nice orderly fashion. Clean cup. Tonight I'm going to do a dirty cup. I'm really going to just dump the colors in, not like super violently, but they're actually going to mix in the cup. So we're going to start with this black. Tonight when I was mixing it, I thought I'd make plenty because I can always use it. Yeah, I don't want too much black here in the bottom. Yeah, this is good. I'm going to mix that just a little bit more. It seems to have difficulty getting through the spout. These are new bottles, so shouldn't be having a problem. I shook this up good. I was more afraid of air bubbles than anything else, so I didn't expect that to be a problem. I can always torch them. So a little bit of black. I'm going to start with this carmine red, and as I said, it's not the same as stacking it and then letting it run inside the cup. We just dump it right there in the middle. Now let's get this pink. So I dumped in, but it's like, oh, that was sunk straight to the bottom, that pink. So I started pouring more gently after, so I could get a little bit here on the top. Same thing here with this burgundy. First I dump it, then I pour a little more gently so we get some interesting layers. Great. Now my silver got a little bit more water in it than the other colors, because in general metallics are definitely thicker than the rest of the paints. Great. Do we want, you know what, just for good measure, I'm just going to put a little bit of black. There's going to be plenty of black in this painting because I'm going to use the rest of this on the outside as my flow extender and cover the sides. Let's get back to this red. Most of my pours on my channel have been in paper cups, so when I did a nice stack cup in a clean cup, you couldn't see what was happening, but here from above you can see that nice. There you go. It's got a nice, hopefully I can zoom in on this for you. Nice really look of colors. I'm just going to put that off to the side for a moment. You notice also I didn't use any silicone in this whatsoever. So that's our dirty cup to start off with. Now, so the thing about a waterfall pour is you're going to let gravity do a lot of the work, but I'm going to do something slightly different. This 40 by 40 canvas already taped and pinned on the back, but waterfall pour often looks good on like long, narrow frames, and I don't have one really right now. So instead, I'm going to do this one on the diagonal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise one side of it up, and then I'm going to put these under here during the pour. So it's now, hopefully you'll see on this camera that it's going to be pouring towards you, the paint. Gravity is going to do the work. So I'm going to be pouring here and letting it go down the canvas. Now, you can't really check to see if your canvas is level, but I want it to be from left and right definitely level. So I'm just going to check the diagonal. That's good to make sure that it doesn't run off to the side. Great. Now, interesting that was pointed out by pouring your heart out is you can pour it this way or you can pour it this way, and you'll get different effects. Tonight, I am going to do it different than the way she did it. I'm going to pour it directly this direction. Now, I'm hoping that my angle isn't too steep, because otherwise the paint will run quite quickly. Yeah, I don't like that this is a little bit wonky. So I'm just going to grab one of my palette knives and just lift that up. The angle doesn't have to be too strong. If it's not strong enough, I'll pull that out. Okay. Here we go. Didn't quite hit the middle there, but that's okay. Is that pink? Oh, lovely. Every once in a while, give it a little back and forth shake. One of the things that's interesting in the waterfall pour is you get some interesting shapes in there. Some wavy wings. I'm going to start moving my center of where I'm pouring down. I've actually also remove that scraper down there so that the angle is steeper, because my paint is kind of hanging out here at the top end of the canvas, and it looks like it's almost ready to go off the top sides. Good. Oh, that's looking nice already. Okay, we're going to torch this real quick. See plenty of bubbles. You get plenty of bubbles because I also mixed the paint tonight, so didn't have as much time to rest, and also because of the nature of the dirty cup, the paints have a tendency, because of like their, the violent nature, violent strong word, of going into the cup, froths it up just a little bit. But again, that's what your torch is for. Now I am going to add this black, of course, but I think I want to stretch out what I have a little bit first, and see if I'm going to get any paint rolling over itself. If that's the case, I'll start adding this flow extender, but if not, I just want to see first what happens with what I have. So let's get it down a little bit further towards the end of the canvas. I'm just going to tilt it also a little bit away from me, because you can see it's already hitting this, almost hitting this side of the canvas. Nice. Get this out of the way. Great. I'm going to tilt it back a little bit because the weight is all down there. I want to get the weight of the paint back towards the middle without it going off this edge. Good. Now let's just take it down a little bit this way as well. And you'll see if I've got my paint moved towards the center of the canvas, the weight will make sure that the place that it starts moving downwards should be in the middle of the paint. So I aimed that one pretty correctly that time. Really don't want the paint to go off the canvas yet, if I can help it. This is stretching out very nicely. And there's some really interesting colors here, so I'm going to see about moving some of this off, but I like what's happening here. I'm going to see what happens. Let's do the same thing. The paint is already in the middle, so we don't have to do any adjustment yet. Yeah, okay, we're already heading towards going off the canvas, which isn't bad at all, but I want to make sure I have good coverage before I do this, so I'm going to add my black around the edges. Yeah, I think this nozzle not as clean as I want it to be. Good. Yeah, now that I add that black, the contrast looks so nice. So here, just on the canvas first, I'm going to spread this black out just a little bit, get it up close to the paint. It is fairly thick, and then get it moving over towards the edges. And now we're to the point where I go, okay, I got enough covering the surface, I think. So now I'm going to switch to one of my favorite tools. It's a good sturdy tool. I use it a long time. It's one of my favorites. It is my finger. Great, and now this side is done. I'm just going to give it one last little smooth criminal. Great. Clean up as I go a little bit. Great, so now the sides, corners are covered. Everything's ready to go. I'm going to check out the flow. Now, I'm going to start tilting. Now, are there rules? No. But something to think about is when you move the paint, people sometimes make the mistake like they go, oh, this is pretty, I want to keep that. So they'll let that be and they'll start manipulating the other stuff. But the truth is, if you like this and you want it to be nice and stretched out, I want to start with this, because if I pour some of this off this corner and then stretch back, tilt back, this is going to get thinner and stretch out. This is going to be so much prettier. So people often go, oh, I don't like this, I'll get rid of that first. And then you end up stretching the wrong part of your painting. Wrong is the wrong word. You know what I mean, I think. So I'm going to start by seeing if I can get this corner moving enough on that black that I can start. I don't want to lose too much of that white. There we go. Good. Again, there's a little bit of a black corner here, but I don't mind. There's no rule that says you have to cover everything either. I'm going to immediately start moving down towards this corner. Keeping that pink on the canvas. Excuse me. Bit over that corner. Good. Excuse me. Okay, so now I see this here. The weight of the paint is down here a little bit. So I'm just going to wipe my hands just a little bit. I'm going to first shift that weight back just a tad first. Start stretching this out as well. And this silver, you'll really see it'll start to come out. Now this way more, because this is my least favorite part. So I want to start getting some of this over here, because that I'm going to want to keep. I'm just going to turn my canvas a little bit so I can pour a little bit better. Good, we're going to let that go over, and that black is really helping it flow instead of roll. Good. Now, and the paint's getting thinner, so it's now moving slower. this is lovely. It's got its real own life to it now. I'm liking the different shades and sides. Yeah, this is definitely super interesting piece. I love it. You go, where's exactly the focus? There's a little weight here. There's this silver here. There's this down here. I think, though, as much as I like that, if I'm taking my own taste into account, then I still think that the weight of, and when I say weight, like how much your eye is pulled by it, that black, it's still very strong. And I'd rather stretch out some of this a little bit more. And as the paint gets thinner and thinner on the canvas, it's moving slower and slower. Nice. Oh, it's got its own little world up there. That's great. I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to take some of this paint off the canvas and do anything with these black corners. Because of the thickness of the paint that I poured off over there, we're getting this little bit of it sitting in a puddle. So I'm just going to move it so that it's a little bit flatter, because my paper towels are also, that's why I usually like pouring on my silicone. So I'm just going to look here where I have that red maroon. Great. I'm just going to oh, that's perfect. You want it to look, you know, natural as well. It was part of the pour. And if you can get enough on there that it pulls the rest of the paint with it, then it helps change the shape, and then it looks like, oh, that was all part of the original pour. I'm going to turn on, real quick, this other light. Now, the thing that's nice about this light is that it gives such a shine over it that when I look from the side, you can definitely see. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab my tweezers. You may not see it here, but right here, there is a piece of gunk. Great. Now I love this light for purposes of being able to see everything really well, but it's very, very warm. I'm still going to see. Great, that makes me happy. Much better. Wipe this off. Good. Now see, now I really like every corner has its personality. Nice and subtle here with this here. I love this shape, how this all goes off. And then that black there. This is a fantastic abstract piece that you go, first question is, I always love this, you go, how are you going to hang this one? Because how you present this one will change how you look at this painting. You'll, just by putting certain things up at the top, make things more dominant or make your eye drawn to them. It's like right now, this way, when I look at it, I go, that is still pretty much the dominant, but it's also in the upper left-hand corner. And it's our eyes are kind of trained as in the Western world to read from the top of the page from left to right. And but when we look at painting, we want to go towards the center. So we kind of go like this. But I bet if you flip this painting around, or I'm even looking, because of the way I did that pour, I'm almost going, this painting would look fantastic diagonally as well, I bet. I'm going to give everything a torch in a minute, and then I'm going to start a real quick scrape of my sides, the bottom. I think that's it, guys. Well, guys, it's 2 days later, and I'm going to take you in for the dry look. I loved how it dried so beautifully. Let's take a look at each of these corners. What I love, this is again one of these paintings where with the silver, when you put this in the right place, in the right room, on the right wall, and then during the day, sunlight hits it. I mean, look at that silver already under there popping up. This is going to be a it's, I mean, for being like red and purplish and pink, it's because it's deep, it's understated, but this piece is a 40 by 40. When you look at what happens when light hits it, bam, it's gorgeous. And as I said, I was talking about the diagonal, which is a possibility, but now more and more as I look at it, I like it like this. But I'm going to show you all 4 options. Thanks so much again for joining me for this pour. I'm just a pour boy. My name is Michael Dietrich. I'll see you next time.